Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. I'm Brad, this is John, and we're the Posh Kings.
Hi everybody, welcome. So today we're going to do a thrift haul. We stopped into a new store that we had not been before. It was actually a consignment shop. We went to breakfast this morning, so we found this new store that was right next door. We went in, and our luck, they were actually having a early Easter promotion, trying to get some merchandise out. So some of the things are now, I guess, out of season because they are winter. We found some vintage, we found some great everyday basics, and we wanted to share them with you.
Also too, real fast, I'm sure as you guys all know, consignment shops can be a little tricky sometimes. So when you are inside them, you should make sure that the prices are still good enough to where you can make a profit, because a lot of times the cost of goods can be a little on the higher end.
I have to be honest, when it comes to consignment stores or shops, we typically work the clearance racks.
Yeah, you have to.
Or when they have like a big promotional sale. We completely understand the client that's consigning, as well as the shop owner, they have to make money, they have to stay in business. And we really don't like to try to tread on their income, because look, we're all trying to make a buck, trying to, keep the wheel going.
That's it.
So we're going to go over a few things. We have some shoes, a few garments, and some great vintage bags to go over. And I think we should start.
Might as well start.
It makes it that easy, right? So here, I will let Brad take these.
Okay. So these, I would say these are probably dated from probably the early 90s.
And they're Coach.
They're Coach, vintage with the tassels on the front.
Really good condition overall.
Really, really good condition overall. Nice size heel. These are size, I forgot what size these are. They're size 6.5. But there's not much damage on them, so it's actually really good.
Now, all of the shoes that you're going to see were $5 or under, except for this one super high-end pair that are literally new in the box, and we paid up for them. We paid $40 because they're like $750 shoes.
Yes.
So that kind of gives you an idea, $5 and under, and it was in their clearance section at this particular store. So the next, while they may look a little bit out of
crazy.
Usual,
we'll say crazy.
Are Jeffrey Campbell from the Havana line. Normally Havana is kind of his more eccentric, abstract items, not as everyday products.
Yes.
So this brand actually sells very well for us on all apps.
On all apps.
Especially Poshmark and Mercari
yes.
are the best for those. So they are the Jeffrey Campbell. I need to clean them. They are black suede. They're in really good condition. They just need a little bit of help and brushing. That is for those that may not be familiar,
yes,
Jeffrey Campbell. And
I was going to say, and again, they look a little crazy, but there is a following.
Yeah, huge following for really interesting shoes. And we will get these cleaned up very, very well.
Yeah.
And they'll be in almost excellent condition once we're finished. And these, again, were under $5. I don't remember the exact amount. But I would probably say we'll get about $35 or $40 for them. So those are great. These are interesting for a reason. Brad will show them to you. They're from a brand called Cork Ease.
So I'm sure a lot of you out there have seen that. Let me show
the company predominantly makes wedges.
Like wedge sandals.
And things like that. Yeah. We have personally never seen flats. They're in great condition. The wedges normally, if I'm correct, are about $125 to $155 new. They sell very well, especially this time of year, going into summer. So we're kind of interested in what really will come of the flats.
Yeah.
And they're super comfortable. That's kind of the gig with them, in that they are really super comfortable shoes, even the wedges.
Yeah. Good tip though for these, if you do find them out there, make sure you see the size. Because a lot of times when we find
sometimes
the sandals,
they hide the size.
The sizes are either hidden or they wear off. So that's
it's been a real tricky one, and we often get so excited to find the brand that we forget to look again.
Yep.
And we'll have another example of that coming soon. So the next pair of shoes are dyed python.
Vintage.
I would say late 70s. Here, I'm trying to catch the color.
I'll work that.
Early 80s. and they are Charles Jourdan. For those that aren't familiar with the brand, Charles Jourdan really was the Christian Louboutin of the 70s and 80s. This was the shoe. If you were like a fabulous dancing queen in Studio 54, you were wearing this brand. They were the hot shoe to have. Now, this obviously probably would have come from more of the business line,
Right.
but they also make, or did make, really kind of, disco dancing type shoes. And these, definitely have a following. And I would probably say we'd probably get $50, $60 for them.
Yeah.
And we have another pair.
We have another pair, actually. These are like blue velvet.
Obviously, someone got rid of their Charles Jourdan collection because we have another pair coming.
Again, oh no, not velvet. Suede.
Suede.
Correction. And again, we'll clean them up, brush the suede out a little bit. But otherwise, the toe's good. No nicks on the toe.
Normally, we pre-clean all of our shoes and get them ready for sale prior to showing them in a video. However, we just went this morning and bought them, and we wanted to make the video. So here we are.
Yep.
And next we have a pair of gold leather, and then we have, it's like a floral snake print. Vince Camuto slides. Easy breezy shoe. I think these were
kind of gives me like $3. I think they're giving me like Gucci vibes almost.
Yeah, they do kind of resemble that Gucci print that was out maybe 3 or 4 years ago.
The floral and snake.
The floral snake print. They're really smart, great condition.
Vince Camuto always does well for us. If you guys see it, definitely.
Yeah, it's a great band. I'm sure most people are familiar with it, but there we go. If we can catch it, perfect. And Brad is going to show you the next pair.
So this pair is a pair of, I call them gladiator style. I consider it gladiator style. I'm gonna hold one up just because it's a size 11. Torrid. Torrid's a great brand. We usually pick it up.
Easy breezy.
Easy breezy. There is a following because everyone who buys Torrid knows their size. And again, these are a size 11.
Typically, people are very familiar with the brand.
Yeah, they know it. Really good with like plus size brand or plus sizes and all that. So definitely a good following. And these are like really, really good shape. So
now I'm going to move on to the luxury pair of shoes before we finish up with some others that we found. And we were kind of shocked because it's not common that you find brand new luxury shoes
in a consignment store.
In a consignment store, in the box that have never been worn.
Right.
But if you're going to find them, you'll find them in a consignment store as opposed to a general thrift store more than likely.
Yes.
It does happen, but so here we go. I'll let Brad show them to you.
I'll show them.
And they are, as you can see from the box, they are Tods, T-O-D-S, all the tagging. And these retailed for $7.95 new.
They're brown.
And they are new.
They are new. Bottoms never worn.
Excellent condition.
Excellent condition.
And these, if I'm correct, I think they were the $40 that we paid up.
Yeah.
I would venture to say these may sell better on eBay to our international clients or Tradesy to get the best price.
Yeah.
Sometimes Poshmark, Todd's is not, they don't sell super high.
They sit for a little bit.
But these are way, way too perfect. In fact, they are brand new to us to even go into a lower price range. Right. So we'll sit on these even if we have to.
Yes, absolutely. And then relist them if we have to, over and over again.
Recently we started using Vendoo, and we couldn't be happier. The delist, relist feature is lightning fast.
You can do it in bulk, up to 10, with just like 2 clicks of a button in a matter of seconds.
And it takes seconds to do.
So like with things like that, like John was just saying, if it goes stale, so to say, or stagnant on one of the apps, just delist, relist, and it happens in a matter of seconds.
It's really helping our sales grow.
Yeah, definitely.
Also, as you know, we all know, some of the platforms have kind of changed their search features and so forth and so on. Nothing is better than an item being new.
Yeah.
So if you use, Vendoo, which we highly suggest you do, and you'll love it just as much as we do, it will be tremendous in how many sales you get from doing so.
Absolutely.
Definitely check it out.
Real fast, if you guys do want to check it out, click the link down below to get 25% off your first month using Vendoo.
Exactly. Next, easy breezy, Vince Camuto flats. I don't think these will sell until fall, but nevertheless.
Yeah, it's almost like I always want to say tweed, but it's not a tweed.
Yeah, it's
fabric.
It's almost like a
herringbone.
Herringbone, exactly. Herringbone wool.
That's the print.
Yeah, really smart. Great. This one is great for spring and summer, probably even more spring. They are Steve Madden's blue platform espadrille sneakers, SEO, whatever you can get into it to get them sold.
Lace up, navy, all that. Yep.
They're great condition. They were a great find.
Yeah. Perfect for summer and spring.
And then, this brand I think just has a cult following. We found two pair, and here you go, Brad.
I'll hold them up. And I think we've shown these in prior videos.
Everybody finds them.
Everyone
Everybody
finds
sells
them. Born. It's right in there.
Leather
B-O-R-N.
booties.
Leather booty with the little zipper accent on both sides of the booty. Nice chunky heel. Good for stability.
And again, now we pick these things up when you get a great price.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to sell until end of summer for fall. But at the price range, it's okay to pick things up. We probably, unless we find something really major, we don't pay up for things.
Right.
Fall items this time of year.
But if they're priced accordingly, like these were, we
Then
always pick it up. We'll pick up sweaters, jackets, coats, doesn't matter. The prices are good.
Yeah, excellent. And then I would do the other pair of Bourne.
So this is another pair of Bourne, which is going to probably send a lot of people back into like time because
they look like sensible baby doll shoes.
Which is like an old school look. So these are Born Again, and not Born Again. The actual brand is called Bourne.
Yeah.
Not Born Again.
Almost like a Mary Jane, as Brad was describing them earlier to me. But like, kind of an earthy Mary Jane, groovy down.
Vintagey looking kind of shoe.
And I just knocked a bunch of stuff over, but I will keep going.
The show must go on.
So, two pairs of shoes left. One, Jack Rogers, which always sell. They have a great following.
Yes.
They're really in excellent condition. However, it looks like they have a lot of foot crud in them.
It's not foot crud.
Those, I had to peel them out. They had those like squishy.
I call them lily pads.
Lily pad, foot slider, cushies in them, and it was green or brown, so they kind of stained, the dye of them stained. That's not like just toe jam or anything good like that. So here we go. So hopefully somebody that doesn't mind having ugly under their feet. But they're really good condition.
And they always do sell no matter what.
So the final shoe is something that I think we all have done. You get excited about a brand because the brand always sells. It sells
especially
easy. And they look kind of even better than the usual. Mm-hmm. But you get so excited that you don't really look at the condition of the item. And next thing you know, you get it home and you have a piece of junk.
So the brand is first.
Brad did it, not me.
This is on me. I will take full credit for this one. So the brand's called Dansko,
which most people are very familiar
with. Great for like
they sell like wildfire.
And look, with the patterns and the prints, those always sell very quickly. Like has like really fun pattern with some print on it. And I'm like, these things always sell. And these were only $3. And I'm like, well, I'll tell you now. I know why. But these always sell very quickly because all people in the medical field wear them. So,
okay, but I'm going to show you the problem here. So, and this is very common. We have seen this often with Dansko.
Yes.
Is that the rim...
Because they're worn a lot.
But because of the color that was underneath the padding, I think Brad thought it was part of the look.
Yeah, the pattern.
The look. So, what it actually is, it's all chewed up like a dog went to...
Like a German Shepherd got hold of them.
So I think believe it or not, they still sell, even if they're not in great condition. But obviously, we will probably literally just get our $3 or $4 out of them ultimately after fees.
Hopefully so.
But it's better than throwing away, and they go to good use.
Absolutely.
So we have just a few more things, like 4 garments and a few vintage bags. The vintage bags are really interesting, and I think they're brands people aren't overly familiar with. So we will start with, let's start with the shirt.
Okay. And this is a man's shirt.
It's men's.
I said man's. Men's shirt. Man's.
Robert Graham.
The Dansko's nice.
These typically can go anywhere. I haven't looked up the most recent prices on them.
They're still ticketed high.
But
retail.
I believe it's like $180 to $250. I actually had a friend of ours who told us he recently just paid $300 for one. Excellent condition. We paid $10. I would think we could probably sell it for $40 or $50 because it's really nice and it's one of the newer ones, new tagging.
And they sell really well on eBay.
And they do sell.
Robert Graham,
men's overall.
Yeah.
Like, we
I know we talked
blow
about
men's
it. I think it
out
was like the last
on
video we
eBay.
talked about it. We've been doing, especially like this past weekend, we did really well on eBay.
A lot.
With men's.
Like, it was Christmas jingle with men's this past weekend. So if you have men's, get it over to eBay for sure.
Yes.
So that's the shirt.
Okay, next we'll show.
We found 3 St. John sweaters, all of which were $10 each. Really cute. Did I call it brown or is it burgundy, Brad?
It's like a dark brown.
Really nice, easy breezy. I'll bring it back. Has the
Little
clasp,
piece.
no metal wear, great condition. This probably was in the high 7s when it was new, and we probably will list it for about $125. Realistically, we'll get $80 or $90 for it in the end after fees and such.
These,
Or more for the right client because it is a newer item.
these look like they're from the same, because they have the same tag.
Yeah, this is one of the newer tags, St. John Black, which also means it's some of their
High-end.
dressier, high-end clothing. As you can see, it has, I haven't looked yet, it's either real, I think it's faux leather sleeves.
But it's blue and black, like glitz.
And I forget, maybe somebody can comment below. I think that the metallic threading, I think it's called
Lament.
lyrics or Larex or something like that, that when it goes through a knit.
Let us know. If you guys know, let us know.
I forget. So it's a sweater.
I always say lame, but that's not right.
Yeah, that's not in this case.
So don't take that.
I think I'm closer.
I think John is closer.
But this would have been about $8.90 to $9.50 when it was new. And I would, evening wear, the glitz wear always does better for St. John.
Yeah.
And I would probably say we should be able to get at least $150 for this particular item. Moving on. Same thing with this. It is silver and black.
I like
it is knit.
The back accent's really pretty.
I would think the numbers would go for roughly the same. This is, again, it is the black,
And white label.
more expensive tagging system.
So the back, if John holds
Has
it back
a,
just a
like
little
a
bit,
sheer blouse underneath.
and that's the back side. So it's a little bit of
And the crisscross top.
a little jazz on
Really
the back.
nice.
Never hurts.
Again, $10. And I would think we should be able to get at least $150 for it. But you know how it goes, and I think so often as resellers, we look at comps or we decide what something is worth. In the entire world, something is only worth what someone's willing to pay for it. So we can, hold on or think or assume. There are some basic guidelines of that. However, again, you have to get the right person and get the right person's eyes. That's why cross-listing really does matter.
And delisting and
helps.
relisting.
And that's it.
Literally, that really changed everything for us.
Exactly. So we have 4 bags. I'll make it quick so we don't keep everybody here all day. So the first one's really interesting. We have better luck with older Dooney bags
Yes.
than we do newer. And I think a lot of it is we typically try to find the bags that are in better condition and older. I would say this is vintage because I believe it's every bit of early 90s, but I haven't checked the numbers or the style to verify how old. It could be even older than that. And it's in superb condition.
Yeah, there's like no corner wear. The piping is really good. That's the
Stunning.
typical thing. Also,
And this was $12, I think it was $12.
$12.
Which I don't understand
I don't
because they
understand,
had
'cause
some
usually-
really messed up ones for like 40.
Also, down here in South Florida, for some reason, like all the stores down here, if it's a Dooney bag, a Michael Kors bag, or a Coach bag, typically they're like through the roof high.
Yeah, I don't understand
Like more
Some
expensive
of
than
the
Marc
prices.
Jacobs. I don't get it.
highly damaged Michael Kors bags. They want $70 or $80 for.
It's crazy.
I don't get it. Anywho, it's a large pouchette. In case anybody wants to come over and buy it, it's great. We're open to it.
We're open to it.
You can buy it.
Open to offers.
Negotiated price. Moving on. Okay, so this is a brand a lot of people are not familiar with. And that is, and if I'm correct, I would have to check this, but I'm pretty sure this is the oldest bag company in the world. Still existing and operating in the world.
Yes.
And it is called Mark Cross. Now, this is a vintage bag.
So let me.
You have to try to catch it.
So I'm going to spell it out for everybody. So it's MARK and then it's Cross, CROSS.
And I'll try to get the logo as best as I can. We find these actually fairly often. It is vintage, it's a bucket bag. It does need a little TLC, which we will give it to prior to listing it, but it is in fairly good condition. I would say this is early to mid 80s. It's very common for them. If this bag were new today, it would probably be in the $3,000 to $3,500 range. Obviously, we're not gonna get that price. I would say if we can get $200 for it, we're lucky. But again, we paid a really low amount for it. Really
Mark
low.
Cross, keep your eyes open.
Mark Cross, definitely. And what's strange is so few people know about the brand that people overlook them. They just leave them.
Yep.
That's why we find them so easily. We find them laying on the floor at stores and all that. People have no idea what it is. Okay, final two items, both vintage.
Same brand.
I would estimate mid 80s probably, possibly a little bit earlier. And that's Bally of Switzerland, which is still a very, very high-end luxury brand. This bag, if it were new, it wouldn't be $3,000 like the Mark Cross, but a similar bag in today's market, brand new, would be about $1,300, $800 to $1,300 depending, but because of the woven leather, it would probably be higher. Again, it needs some TLC.
But a lot of people out there that collect these bags, even if there is damage
They're
or wear,
anticipating the wear.
because it's a vintage bag, they expect it to have wear, and some people, that's in fashion. You know, the whole rustic
and they're cool
used,
with it. I would say that will do better on Tradesy and eBay. Bally is not a huge seller on Posh.
Yeah, we don't really move it as much on Posh.
Nor is it a big seller on Mercari.
Yeah.
And this is the last item, and it also is Bally.
Which
Big shoulder bag with the B
Which is
logos.
very common for Bally to use these
Which,
clip, you want to call it a handle strap clip.
And what's really interesting is every time because we've had a few of these bags, it reminds me of the new way that Burberry is logoing their products. So again, it is vintage. Again, it definitely, I have to actually do a little bit of dye on that. It'll probably take me about 2 hours to get her in shape. Not a straight 2 hours. And I would think, again, we'll probably get about $250 once we make her pretty. And I think this was $10 at the most.
Yeah.
And there we have it. We found some luxury items. We found some great contemporary items. Some vintage garments. It was all across the board.
Which we like. Good variety.
Yeah, definitely.
So, thank you guys so much for checking us out and watching our video.
We appreciate it.
Be sure to click the like button and subscribe. So we can keep
We
putting
really
out
appreciate
content.
it.
Yeah, so we can keep putting out content for you guys. Also, be sure to check out the link for Vendu, 25% off your first month down below. And we can't thank you guys enough for the support and the love that we get from all of you. It means the world to both of us. We love
Be
you
well,
all.
everybody. Take care.
Have a good one.